What's up, guys? The Lazy Goldmaker. We're here, we're back. I'm going to talk about Obsidian combatant gear. This is the catch-up PvP gear. We had a similar type of gear in 10.0, Crimson Combatant. It was pretty good. Sell rate was decently high, and definitely something that you could make gold on. Nothing like crazy. This isn't something that's going to make you a gold cap or anything like that. This is something that's going to be a good entry-level market, a good market to generate some amount of sales, and something that's going to be going to give you a couple of hundred, maybe a couple of thousand gold profit per item. So you can see here I've sold items for 500-600 as late as a month ago. Crafting cost is 100 gold, even less for some items, and if we go further back, then we have a lot more sales around the patch launch, including selling a bunch of items for 1,000 gold with the Crimson Combatant gear. I haven't gotten many of the Obsidian Combatant recipes yet, but the prices are there. So what's all this about? Obsidian Combatant. It's a group of green items you can buy for pretty much every item slot, or all armor slots, rings, trinkets, necklaces. This covers all of that. It's green or uncommon quality items that are upgraded. As you can see, the unique equip effect, item level 424 if you are in an arena or battleground. So by buying these pieces, you can essentially get to full 424 in arena instantly day one whenever you hit level 70. So these are most of these items are fairly popular. It's by far the fastest way to get into arena, and as you can see here, a bunch of them are actually fairly expensive. Like this Obsidian, the PvP trinket, it's 5,500 gold. So there's gold to make here. There's also some very large advantages to these items. It's gear. What does that mean? It means you're selling only on your realm's auction house. You're not competing with everyone else. You're not competing with people playing on a bunch of different realms. You don't have to be on the region-wide auction house. You don't have to babysit your auctions as much, essentially. Which is, well, obviously very, very nice for those of us who don't want to sit repos. You can see I've gotten, well, I should have had some sales, but whatever. Yep, it's a thing. So the recipes, almost all of the recipes are traded on the auction house. So if you just search for Obsidian Combatant and go to recipes, then you'll find almost all of them. The only ones that are not on the auction house are the recipes for the inscription trinkets. They are bought in Valdrakken from a vendor, and you pay 1 awakened ire or 2 awakened ire. And he's called Fieldmaster Embrath. It's the vendor in Valdrakken, and well, you can find him in this little cave right here. So that's how you get the inscription ones, and all of the other ones are from the auction house. They're from the auction house. They're not super expensive anymore, because obviously they dropped from PvP and they can be traded on the auction house, so they're not that expensive. Some of them are. I don't think any of these recipes are worth like 70,000 gold, but I think they're definitely worth 1 to 2 to 3, 4, maybe even 5,000 for some of them. Now, before you go buying a bunch of recipes, you obviously want to double check the prices. So I'd suggest checking whatever professions you have. So just go to like armor and then search for only plate with combatant, to get an idea of what the plate items are selling for, and then also you can do a rough estimate of what the recipes are going to cost you by just looking at, if you just go to blacksmithing and recipes, you can hover over, you can see that this takes 4 infurious alloys. That's all of them. I don't remember what infurious alloys cost these days, but you need 4 infurious alloys, so that's about 800 gold. A little bit less for quality 3s. You can shave off 120, so it's like about 680, 650, something like that, is what you're gonna need. So if we then go back, we know that you have to pay about 600, unless you're crafting your own alloys. You might be able to get it cheaper than. No guarantees. And then you can see that, okay, so maybe the arm guards aren't so good because they're just 350 gold. But the shoulders are selling for 2,000 gold, and they're like 600 gold to craft. So this is looking like a very, very, very juicy item. So that's what you do. This is going to vary realm to realm. I obviously can't tell you exactly what recipes are going to be good. I think ones you are most interested in checking are the ones that every spec is going to need. So that's going to be the trinkets, the rings, the cloak. All of those are generally speaking very very popular. So you have the jeweled amulet and the jeweled signet. Those are the ones for for jewel crafting. On my realm, the Obsidian combatant ring is incredibly cheap. It's 50 gold now. This one's completely pointless to buy. There's barely any profit here. The amulet, however, costs exactly the same amount of gold to craft as the ring, and it's selling for 300 more per. So obviously, if you're to pick one of them on my realm, then you're gonna go for the amulet, and then you can check the other main sort of most popular recipes. So that's gonna be cloak, and then you're just gonna check the various armors depending on what professions you have. Now, what's really good right now is that TSM is working properly. So we can just use crafting. We can use a straight crafting based profession setup to post these. So obviously I have an Obsidian combatant's jeweled amulet, so I can just pick that one up, and then we can use a crafting based setup to post that to the auction house. What does that mean? It means that when you hover over this item, you can tell that TSM knows the crafting cost. It's 75 gold. Which means that we can use the same operation for everything. I have a full TSM setup with all of the Obsidian combatant items that you can import, and then you can use that to just run a post scan. As with everything else, just jump on the auction house, open TSM, and click run post scan, and it'll all get posted. So that's very nice, very obviously very handy when you're doing these kinds of items, to just get them all out into the auction house in an effective manner. So we can do this, and it works for all of the items right now. Unless you've put like very little knowledge in, you're pretty much going to guarantee max item level, because these recipes are not particularly difficult. They don't have a high difficulty, as you can see here. The jewel amulet difficulty is 120. That being said, you do want to make sure you actually get max quality. I don't think people are going to buy the lower item level ones. Even though for PvP it doesn't matter, there's still going to be 424 in PvP, but people are going to prioritize getting the max eye level ones, because then they're also slightly more useful in PvE. But you should be able to get there on pretty much any character. Even if you haven't played them at all, you can probably get the required recipe skill very, very quickly and make some gold with this. So yeah, that's it. This is one of those entry-level markets. Not going to make you super rich, but it is something that's going to make you, well, it can make you probably, it can make you a couple of thousand a day if you're doing this. It can even go higher than that, particularly now early in the patch cycle when people are gearing up and they're gearing alts and stuff like that. This is the time when typically catch-up gear sells the best. So if you're cranking this market, then this is just a great way to get into gold making with relatively little risk, and something that's going to be a steady seller. And this type of catch-up gear is something that I've had a ton of success with. I don't think there's any version of WoW I've played where catch-up gear has not been a great gold making method. So yeah, good luck guys.